Let's talk to UWE BOLL.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good evening.
good evening for you.
I almost started sleeping, but because I had to wait so long, I could watch the Rip movie with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Now I have it. Now it's
Funny,
done.
that's when I watched it. I watched it like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I know you've got first of all, thank you for your time. Always great to talk to you. You're no BS. You I love that you have beaten the critics, and by beaten I mean in the ring with gloves on. Look up those videos of Uwe bashing critics. I love it. But you've got a new project now you want to talk about. Should we get right into it?
Yeah, I mean, little update in general. Our movie Run, I think we talked about it, that migrant drama, Paramount Plus bought it. So it will be on Paramount Plus at one point now. And then we shot First Shift 2 and 3, where First Shift 1 was a big hit on Paramount Plus. So I'm in contact with them. I hope, of course, they buy part 2 and 3 also. And Citizen Vigilante, the movie I did with Armie Hammer, is coming in April with Quiver. I mean, it will be a very small theatrical release, but it will be in some theaters. So we will see. And I'm already full on into 23 years later, Return to Zombie Island. I sent you here in the link. We do a crowdfunding, but at the same time, you can play the trailer if you want.
We will definitely play the trailer. But now, what inspired the name 23 years later? I'm curious.
It is actually, there are various aspects to it. So it is 23 years later since I shot House of the Dead. So that's the one thing. The other thing is that I learned the hard way that they're planning another House of the Dead movie, but without me. And so I felt I call all the old cast and ask my original cast if they would come back if I do another zombie movie, what we cannot name House of the Dead. So, and then why not making a joke out of 28 years later, right? And then Return to Zombie Island is basically what happened in the movie. So, and I'm very happy that all this cast you see here, they will all come back. And I think the movie turned into kind of this kind of cheesy kind of classic, right? So people love the movie, and when I put it out there and say I want to do this, when I read through the threads and people talking about it, it's like a mix between, oh my god, it was so bad, but I still watched it 8 times, or I loved it because it's kind of funny. Also, it's kind of campy. It's like real effects. It's not so much CGI. So, and I had a screening in Hamburg a few months ago, and the people, like the crowd was like talking about during the movie. They were talking and everything. Had a great time, and we did a Q&A and a horror podcast after. I feel that House of the Dead is this kind of movie what is so bad that it's good, and not a lot of movies. Now I feel all that horror movies now, they're trying to be so serious, so scary, so dark, so depressive, that it needs another movie where you have this kind of campy fun to it. What I felt, for example, I liked the last Final Destination movie because it's so total over the top absurd, but that every situation will turn into a total disaster, and it's fun to watch it. There are not so many movies out there. I think they're fun to watch, and House of the Dead was one of them. And I think so. Look, the guy from Resident Evil is doing it, who did like the Monster Hunter, Paul Anderson, right? And he said already, I will make the darkest, the hardest, the whatever House of the Dead movie of all times. And I know he's using a lot of CGI, and maybe his wife again, Mila Jovovich, go over it, So yeah, you can play it quick here.
Yeah, I was sorry about that. Apologies. I'm trying to queue up the trailer. So let's watch the trailer to 23 years later. And please come with your questions for UWE now. Well, let's take a look at this. It's just over a minute.
Hi, here's UWE BOLL, and I wanted to go to Indiegogo and go on our campaign for 23 years later, Return to Zombie Island. House of the Dead was 23 years ago and turned from a most hated video game-based movie ever into the total cult classic. People loved that movie, and I loved that movie. And I called all the old cast and say, would you come back to do a real retro, bloody, new House of the Dead inspired movie? Because we cannot name it House of the Dead because they're making a $50 million House of the Dead movie with somebody else. And it's pissing me so off that I would say, give us the money, produce the film with us, buy some of the perks. We will make it happen. We will really compete with that other movie.
Hell yeah.
That's
Now,
great.
Has it launched on Indiegogo yet?
So it's a preview only. You see 100 people following us. So let's get your fans and your listeners following the campaign. And in 3 days or 4 days will be the perks coming out. You know what people can do. It can be also like an extra or a zombie in the movie. And I'm very excited about one perk because there's one perk only Michael Bay can buy.
What?
Yeah, it's like
What
so.
is that?
Yeah, we did a special perk where Michael Bay can only buy it for $20, but he has to also purchase a gas station what we blow up. That's the condition. So he can be a co-producer on the film, but he needs to get us that because we have a scene in the script like this, and we will not necessarily have the money. And he blows so much shit up in all his movies. He should have somewhere a gas station we can blow up, and that's the perk for Michael Bay.
Okay, that's amazing. I love that idea of a perk. He's got a. I mean, what I love about this is between you, Eli Roth, Zachary Levi, a lot of filmmakers are fed up with current Hollywood and they're going into, I mean, you've always been fiercely independent, but now you're going independent and taking it right to the fans. I mean, this is now a growing trend of more and more filmmakers, like I said, Eli Roth, Zach Levi, among others, Robert Rodriguez, are just saying, F it, give us the money, we'll make the movies you want to see. Yeah,
and I agree because everybody now, and I mean, look, if Netflix swallows up Warner, we have less and less and less possibilities to get a movie financed, right? If you're not in that system, you just don't get that money. And then they're putting it all in the computer, in the algorithm. Then they have all that diversity writers. I think last time we talked about all this bullshit. That and I feel like the fans don't care about all of this. And it was funny. So we had the script, and I talked to Lionsgate because Lionsgate has House of the Dead 1, right? And so I read the script, and they said, "Look, is it the final script, whatever?" And I said, "Look, this movie cannot have a super good script where what you put in your computer and you get a reader's report 9 out of 10. That would be the opposite to what a House of the Dead kind of script should be. You know, of course you need silly dialogue. Of course you need scenes where people would say, why the fuck he goes in that house? Stuff like this, right? So, and of course, if you put it in the same kind of AI filters, it will never come out that that's a script you should definitely do, you know, but it's counterproductive. It's like the whole point is to make a movie similar to what that old movie was, and you have just a good party time watching it, and not this kind of like you're like depressed after you go out.
Well, hey, we've got over 1,000 people watching live. We will put the link in the description to this, to the campaign. You can sign up to be alerted when the campaign launches. But we have a lot of questions for you. When does the campaign launch?
I think it's 3 or 4 days the campaign will launch.
Okay. We'll put the link in there. It's on Indiegogo. Look it up. 23 years later. But let's go to questions. Alan, help me out here. Let's go. A lot of questions from our audience.
All right. Matthew Hammond, Mayor for 22 months. Would UWE Boll do a TV series for Paramount Plus?
Yes. I mean, first shift, right? So it's basically now we are on 3 90-minute movies. We could also continue as a TV show, TV series. It's a lot of fun to do first shift because it's this kind of like it's like old-fashioned cops, right? So, and it's not like maybe we didn't fulfill the diversity writers, but we shoot in New York, so we fulfill indirectly, you fulfill in New York everything, right? So, and I mean, it was a blast doing it, and I like the combination out of this Lethal Weapon kind of humor in it with the two, like Kristen Renton and Gino Pizzi. They're really funny together with some good jokes also, but then you have harder cases and R-rated violent content, right? So, but I like this, and I would totally do that. Totally.
Here we go. Lots of questions here for you. Let's see. Let's start with this one.
Okay. Tim is not funny. Uwe has sauce. He makes bold and dynamic choices. I respect the fuck out of him.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Ron Mistars. Will any returning actors be a zombie?
Yes. So, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of actors, Will Sanderson, Tyron Letzo, Clint Howard, they all were turned into a zombie now, and they unfortunately have to play zombies. But I give them a little more brain as normally, so they can have some dialogue, kind of, So, but Jonathan Cherry or Ona Grauer, they didn't turn, so they can be normal, And the whole basic story is that Jonathan Cherry's daughter now is like in that 18, 20 years old level, and they go to the locked up island. Of course, against the advice of the father and everything, and he has to come to the rescue. So, and I think that will totally work, but it's this kind of thing also where you feel like your own past comes up in that film, like in a way I grew up when I was like 20, Halloween started, Friday the 13th, all this kind of horror movies, all the John Carpenter movies I watched in the movie theater. And I miss this kind of more practical effect films, and you saw it in the trailer, where you really have like dummies and you blow them up and prosthetic effects and stuff, and you don't cheat at all, Yeah.
Well, I want to see Clint Howard as a zombie. Cat Chat. UWE Boll is hilarious. You've got my butt in a seat to watch this. One Punch Man Tolkien fan. Can we put Gore in a movie? He has experience. Yes, Chris has been a zombie in a movie.
I was a zombie in the Tom Savini directed Night of the Living Dead in 1991.
Wow. So, yeah, so we will shoot. If we shoot it, right, we will shoot in Vancouver. So you just have to come up there.
I will come up there to be in the movie as long as I get either killed or could be a zombie or whatever. I have zombie experience.
Yeah, that's good. We will kill you.
Chris will kill or be killed. Yes. Caveat ties. Who does your explosives?
I mean, if we of course, I will try to get the same crew together. John Sleep did the blowing up of the house. Everything that you saw in the trailer was real. We really built that house and blew it up in the end. And Jack Osmond is another guy in Vancouver I worked with in explosions and stuff. And he did Rampage, for example, what was also heavy loaded with gunfights and cars wrecked and blown up. The police office we blowed up in Rampage. So yeah, I mean, they're good guys. They're good crew people in Vancouver.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Tim is not funny. Does UWE utilize pre-sales with distributors to secure funding? Which markets are most lucrative?
Yeah, for me, US and Germany. You know, so there I have the most fans, and sometimes we do pre-sales. For example, now I hope that Lionsgate will buy the US, pre-buy the US. I mean, they have the old one, and they made a lot of money with the old one. The old one did like 28 million in home video alone. I mean, it's you know, it was a big success. Everybody now, when you see, like, look at the theatrical results now, right? When they said, oh, House of the Dead did only 13.2 million box office. What a disaster. I mean, look at the movies now. They cost like 100 billion and they make $5 million box office, you know? So, I mean, in comparison to today, House of the Dead is very profitable too, because it was only $8 million to do the movie. So it was not like a $20 million movie. So we really, in my career, it's the most profitable film I ever made, you know? Yeah.
Amazing. John Platt. Hey, UWE BOLL, I love horror zombie movies, but to my regret and shame, I've never seen your House of the Dead zombie film. Can I buy it on Blu-ray to watch?
I don't know. You have to go on Amazon and check it out. I mean, you definitely can watch it in a streaming service somewhere. You just have to Google it where it's running right now. But I don't know Blu-ray. I think actually Lionsgate never did a Blu-ray. I think they did only a DVD. You know?
Wow.
Yeah. Also stupid, you know, because horror fans, zombie fans are these people who buy actually still DVDs and Blu-rays. So, and to not release it, it's idiotic.
Not another name. Hey, UWE, will you come to Kino Plus in the next time?
But what is Kino Plus? Is it a website also, or what?
Yeah, I think it's.
I believe it's a distributor.
Okay.
Could be a theater.
No problem.
Sorry.
Wherever the movie is getting shown, I'm happy if Kino Plus also shows it. You know, so no problem.
Yeah,
And
I'm just looking. Yeah, House of the Dead is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
ADL's 24. What was it like working with Armie Hammer and Vigilante? How did his past experience working on massive blockbusters benefit your indie thriller?
I mean, Armie, I think, is a real star. You know, like, I mean, he got canceled. That's the reason I could snap him up. Was it this Vigilante? You know, so, but I think he will come back, because there is the other stars, in a way, there are no real movie stars right now. You know, the real movie stars getting old. And I think we see it a little with this Jason Statham film coming up, or the Gerald Butler film coming up. This guy's approaching 60, and they cannot, like, you know, like they cannot continue this. But Armie is only 40 or 39, and he has the body, he has the good looks, he has the acting skills. I think he can be really coming back as an action star also, not only like an actor, but also as an action star. And it was so easy to work with him. I mean, no attitude. He understood it's an independent film. You know, he didn't have a trailer. Nobody in my films in the last 4 or 5 films had a trailer or something. It's like, no, like we're all on set, and if you're not shooting for 2-3 hours as an actor, you can go back to the hotel or something. But we're not like this kind of doing the huge setups, you know. I mean, it's really like you talked about it also, why nobody is shooting in LA. And Armie told me he shot a film in LA recently, and it's not the tax credit. It's not the point, like how much tax credit you get. It's also how film friendly is the environment. You know, and he said, like, they were shooting in a park, and then a guy from the park watch, whatever, said, you cannot shoot in this direction. You can only shoot in that direction. You know, this kind of limitations. And then, you know, all this unionized bullshit. And where you feel like, look, I'm pro-union, but it's not, a union should not interfere with independent movie makers who have no money. You know, I mean, it's totally idiotic to put all these limits in, and you cannot do this, and you cannot do this, and you need like 3 different washrooms, and you need this and this and this, and that destroys the budget of an independent filmmaker. And that's the reason I think in LA are not a lot of, you see also the tax credits mostly go to big shows. You know, they're getting like 40 million, 50 million for like $200 million shows, what they shoot mostly in the studios. So, but I think Gary Newsom and everybody, they should think about like, how can we activate really independent filmmakers to shoot here, you know? And I think everything under $1 million should be not harassed by the unions. If you have student drivers, you have student drivers and not Teamsters and stuff like this. You know, they should let them alone, because then at least actors can work and crew people can work. I get so many emails every day from crew people, editors, composers, storyboarders, VFX people, so many. You have a job, you have a job, you have a job, you have a job, you know, like, and that was 10 years ago, not the case, you know, but now you get like applications, I'm a Steadicam operator, I'm this and that. And that shows it's a crunch. There are not enough. Everybody says they're getting so many movies produced. Yeah, not really, because all these classic independent movies, there were like hundreds per year, are dead.
Yeah.
You know, nobody gets the $1 million together or $2 million to make an independent movie. It's like basically you go to Netflix, and if they don't give you 80 million bucks, you never do your project. And you know, and that's the world we're living in now. And I feel like they wasting a lot of talent in these limitations. And also another thing, what is very, very important, is that streamers should be forced to pay also bonuses if something works. You know, that's the thing. When I listened to the interview from Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, they negotiated for Rip that the crew gets a bonus and more money, and the other actors, if Rip is doing whatever 100 million views or something, you know. So, but why not giving that to everybody? Why I didn't get a bonus from first shift was 20 weeks in the top 10 at Paramount Plus, but it was like 2% budget of Yellowstone or Mayor of Kingstown, or, you know, like, but we were in the same charts like them for a long time. And did I got a penny more as like a few, like I think we got $200,000 for a year or something, right? Did I got any bonus for this? No, but I indirectly made Paramount Plus millions of dollars, you know, but I didn't get anything for it. And that's the problem. And we cannot make movies like this for $200,000. So it's like you get underpaid, and then you don't get even more money if you are successful.
23 years later, the return to Zombie Island, the campaign launches in just a few days. The link is in the description for this episode and on our interviews channel. We've had you on before, Uwe. We will check in on the campaign next week and before it closes. I really wish you luck, and want to have you back when you have a new project.
Absolutely.
When you get going, and when I go to Vancouver to either get killed or play a zombie, I will document my trip right here for our viewers.
Yeah, we will do that. 100%. You get full access to everybody, interviews with everybody, no problem.
Awesome. All right, Uwe, I know it's late for you. Thank you so much for being on. Well, let's have you back, and congratulations. We'll keep our audience informed of the campaign.
Thanks so much for your support always. Okay.
All right. Take care. Later.
Bye. Bye. Bye.